After the car accident, I was reborn. The birthday gift I gave her, Jang Xue told others, a gift from my bestie. The new phone I bought for her, Jang Xue told others, my parents bought it. The 2 tickets to her idol's concert I managed to get for her, Jang Xue said to me. Thank you, I want to go with my male best friend. After learning the truth, I gave up and stopped being her lapdog. Jang Xue panicked. Jang Xue said with a hesitant and regretful expression, Zhang Yi, I'm sorry, I don't want to be in a relationship for now. Let's just be friends first. I replied nonchalantly, it's okay, I can wait for you. This was the 10th time Jang Xue had rejected my confession. Every time she said she didn't want to be in a relationship. So why did she deliberately get close to me? I walked dejectedly along the bustling street. Suddenly, an out-of-control car speeding toward me crashed straight into me. I couldn't dodge in time and was sent flying several meters away. Hey, wake up! Hey, wake up! Someone was frantically patting and calling out to me. But the scene before my eyes grew increasingly blurry. My body felt so heavy, and I really wanted to sleep. The next morning, I groggily opened my eyes. The surroundings were so unfamiliar. Where was this? The air was filled with the strong smell of disinfectant. It seemed to be a hospital room. How did I end up in the hospital? I struggled to sit up on the hospital bed and looked at my snow-white patient gown. My head hurt so much, and my whole body felt like it was falling apart. Was I staying up late in the office, reviewing documents? How'd I end up here? Suddenly, a flood of memories that didn't belong to me rushed into my mind. After processing it for a moment, so, I was reborn. And why did I have to be reborn into this pathetic lapdog? Couldn't I have been anything but a lapdog? This is just too stupid. Being played like a fool by this woman Jang Xue, treated like an obedient ATM. I absolutely won't let this happen again. Suddenly, the door opened gently, and a middle-aged couple dressed in suits walked in. As soon as they entered and saw me leaning on the hospital bed, they looked excited and rushed straight to my side. From the original owner's memories, I learned that these were likely the male lead's parents. They looked quite impressive, like CEOs of some listed company with a very wealthy family. No wonder Jang Xue kept stringing the male lead along without letting go. After all, why pass up such a foolish ATM? The woman spoke first. Year, how are you feeling? Does it hurt? You scare me to death. Her face was full of worry and urgency. I said, Mom, I'm fine. I feel much better and can be discharged soon. The investigation is clear. The car suddenly went out of control and accidentally crashed into the roadside, hitting you. Thankfully, the driver brought you here in time, my father said. Then we won't disturb your rest. Focus on recovering first, my mother said with concern. From the memories, I learned that the male lead had a strained relationship with his family because of Jang Xue, often arguing loudly with his parents, who could only indulge their precious son. How could someone be so foolish as to turn against their own parents for a woman like this? I opened WeChat. At the top of the chat list were several messages from a contact labeled Xiaoxue, followed by a heart emoji. Without a doubt, this had to be that woman Jang Xue. I opened the chat. The messages were pretty much the same as the previous rejections. Just a few comforting words, followed by some encouragement, and then asking me to bring breakfast the next day. But seeing that I hadn't replied, she asked if I was angry. Then, noticing I hadn't gone to school the next day, she asked why I wasn't there and why I hadn't brought her breakfast. It's really quite laughable. I couldn't be bothered to reply, and simply blocked and deleted her. Right now, I'm still a high school senior, with only 3 months left until the college entrance exam. At such a critical stage, the original owner was still playing the lapdog. What embarrassment to us guys. With the original owner's current level of knowledge, there's no way he could get into a good university. In my previous life, my family was ordinary. I studied hard and, through relentless effort, finally got into Tsinghua University. But after entering society, I realized it wasn't as simple as I thought. After several more years of hard work, I finally started my own company. But before I could enjoy the good life, I died from overwork and was reborn into this kid's body. What a tough fate. With my previous life's experience of getting into Tsinghua, relearning high school knowledge is a piece of cake. After a few days, feeling that I had recovered enough in the hospital, I went through the discharge procedures. During this time, That woman Jang Xue naturally called a few times. She was very angry when she found out I had blocked and deleted her on WeChat. She kept calling to question me why, asking if I was angry because she rejected me, and then pretended to care about me after learning about my car accident. In fact, it was just that she was not used to me not being at school to boss around. Naturally, I couldn't be bothered with her and just gave a few perfunctory replies. After all, I didn't want to have anything to do with this kind of woman now. But I wouldn't let her have her way either. I wanted her to give back everything she had gotten from me. On the first day I was discharged from the hospital, my parents happily held a reception for me, cooking a large table of delicious food and constantly putting food on my plate. Dad, Mom, I've come to my senses now. I don't like Jang Xue anymore. You don't have to worry about me, I said to my parents sincerely. My parents could also see that I had changed since the car accident and were very happy. It was worth a car accident to make their son change his mind. Son, you finally see this woman Jang Xue for what she is. Dad is really happy for you. This woman is too scheming. You can tell she's not a good woman at a glance. It's good that you've figured it out. My dad said to me happily, you should say less. On such a happy day, don't mention this woman. It's so unlucky. My mom quickly stopped my dad and said, that's right. Haha, let's not mention that woman. Come on, son, eat more. My dad said happily. The next day, I happily took the car to school. Suddenly, the driver stopped at crossroad. I asked the driver why he suddenly stopped. Young master, don't we need to wait for Miss Jang Xue today? The driver asked curiously. Only then did I remember that every time I went to school before, I had asked the driver to pick up Jang Xue. Even though it was so out of the way for me to go to school with her, Jang Xue always took it for granted. From now on, you don't need to come here to pick her up. Let's go straight to school now, I said to the driver. Okay, young master. As soon as Jang Xue came out, she happened to see my family's car drive straight away and was still shouting for us to stop from behind. I didn't answer her calls and just hung up on her directly. Seeing Jang Xue stamping her feet in anger in the rearview mirror, I felt an inexplicable sense of satisfaction. Without my family's car to pick her up, she could only ride a shared bike on the roadside to get to school. She was used to being picked up and dropped off, and she didn't exercise. Plus, it was a bit far, so it took Jang Xue a long time to ride there. By the time she got to school, the morning reading session was already over, and she was sweating all over from riding. Because Jang Xue was wearing a white t-shirt today, her upper body was slightly see-through. The classmates in the class couldn't help but take a few more glances, but Jang Xue couldn't be bothered to care about their stares. She walked straight to my desk and questioned me. Why didn't I pick her up, and why did I hang up on her? I looked at Jang Xue as if I were looking at a lunatic and said, it's not like I have any obligation to pick you up. What is our relationship? Why should I listen to you? That's ridiculous. All right, the head teacher just told you to go to her office as soon as you got to school. After I finished speaking, I ignored Jang Xue, letting her resentful gaze fall on me. At this moment, a boy walked up to me aggressively and said loudly, Zhang Yi, don't go too far. It's a favor to you to let you pick up Xue. Don't be ungrateful. I slowly raised my head and stared at this boy. It turned out to be Luo Fei. Luo Fei was also one of Jang Xue's pursuers. However, Luo Fei's family was very ordinary, and because I had been pursuing Jang Xue before, he had never shown it. Seeing that Jang Xue seemed to be bullied by me today, he immediately jumped out to show off and try to get some attention in front of Jang Xue. Of course, I couldn't let him get away with it. A favor to me? Who does she think she is that I need her favor? Luo Fei, if you like her so much, why don't you go pick her up? What are you pretending to be in front of me? Does she not have hands or feet? Can't she go to school by herself, or something? Does she need me to pick her up? Do I have this obligation? After being refuted by me like this, the eyes of the whole class immediately turned over, and the faces of Luo Fei and Jang Xue also turned pale and red. Dinkling, dinkling. The school bell rang, and a head teacher immediately appeared at the door as if out of nowhere. Class is starting. What are you all gathered around for? You're all about to take the college entrance exam, and you're not hurrying up to study, and you still have time to chat there. Our class is the noisiest on the whole floor. I could hear it from downstairs. If you don't want to study, go home. Don't delay the students who want to study. The head teacher reprimanded in a stern voice. Especially when she said the second half of the sentence, she was still looking at us. Jang Xue, I told you to come to my office. Why didn't you come? Come over after class. Zhang Yi, you've just recovered from your illness, so pay more attention to rest. When you have time, study the knowledge from the past few days by yourself. If you don't understand anything, come and ask the teacher. After the head teacher finished speaking, she began the class. The morning classes ended quickly. Naturally, I listened very carefully. With the memory of my previous life, I still had some impression of this knowledge. I felt that it would definitely not be a problem to review it well. Jang Xue was in no mood for class anymore. She realized that ever since she had rejected me, my attitude towards her had changed drastically. Before, I would bend to her every whim, giving her whatever she wanted, but now everything seemed different. This wouldn't do. She felt she had to have a good talk with me now. I stretched and was about to go to the cafeteria for lunch when I saw Jang Xue walking straight towards me, a worried expression on her face. Jang Xue. Zhang Yi, I want to talk to you alone. Actually, I had something to discuss with her as well. All right, let's go to the stairwell. And so, I walked in front, and she followed slowly behind me into the stairwell. I cut right to the chase. Give me back all the things I bought you. You can pay me the discounted price, too. Jang Xue was stunned by my words. She had just been thinking of showing me a little sweetness to smooth things over between us, but she never expected me to hit her with this, catching her completely off guard. But you gave these to me willingly. How can you ask for them back when they were a gift? Jang Xue said, composing herself. You think I really don't know? Of all the things I gave you, which one did you ever tell anyone I gave you? Am I your best girlfriend? Or your dear parents? I stared intently at Jang Xue. I didn't mean to say that. I was afraid people would think I only liked you for your money, so I said they were from someone else. Omesuri, Zangye. Jang Xue said, her eyes brimming with tears as she looked at me. I don't care what your reason is. Either give me back the money or the things. Otherwise, I'll expose you. Without waiting for her reaction, I turned and walked away. The truth was, I didn't care about the things or the money. I just wanted to annoy this woman, Jang Xue. A fulfilling day of studying quickly came to an end. My brain felt like it was about to explode with knowledge. A flood of information that didn't belong to me had rushed into my mind. The head teacher and all the subject teachers thought I had been exceptionally attentive that day. It seemed a bout of illness had completely changed my personality. A tall and imposing figure appeared at the classroom door. Seeing the distraught Jang Xue, he rushed in anxiously. What's wrong, Xue? Which bastard bullied you? The boy asked with concern. The moment Jang Xue saw him, she threw herself into his arms, seemingly wanting to vent all the grievances of the past few days. This boy was, of course, Jang Xue's close male friend, Sun Qian. Jang Xue was quite fond of this male friend. He was handsome, tall, and knew how to please her, giving her a great sense of security. Apart from his poor grades and average background, he had no other flaws. Seeing that Jang Xue wasn't saying anything, Sun Qian immediately guessed that I must have been the one to anger her. He stormed over to me, a fierce look on his face, and said, Was it you who made Xue angry? How dare you? Go and apologize to her right now. The day of studying had already been stressful enough, and now I had to deal with this idiot's yelling. I wasn't going to put up with it. What the hell does her being angry have to do with me? You really enjoy being her attack dog, don't you? Truly, when a master is angry, the eunuch is more anxious than anyone. After I finished speaking, Sun Qian's fists clenched so tightly they audibly cracked. I looked at him provocatively and said, Can't win with words, so you want to resort to violence? Come on then, hit me right here on the head. We'll see if I don't bleed you dry for it. Sun Qian was at a loss. He left me with a threat, you just wait, and had no choice but to go back to comforting Jang Xue. As for me, I walked away coolly without a second glance, not wanting to waste my time on this despicable pair. The other students in the class were also shocked by this scene. I had always been timid and submissive in class, constantly trying to please the school belle, Jang Xue. Today, I had been so bold as to directly confront Sun Qian and Jang Xue. Many were impressed by my courage today, but I was unaware of all this. After returning home, I began to cram high school knowledge. After all, my goal was to get into Tsinghua or Peking University, which was no easy feat. For the next few days, I studied like a madman in my room. My parents were shocked by my behavior, feeling that their son had truly grown up. Their previous plan was that if I really didn't want to study, They would just pull some strings to get me into a decent university after the college entrance exams. They never expected me to become so passionate about studying. It was truly a miracle. Sensing the change in me, Jang Xue had also consciously stayed away and not disturbed my life for the past few days, and I was happy for the peace and quiet. However, in class these past few days, I had noticed a very special girl. Her name was Lu Zi, and her grades were excellent. She was a girl I hadn't noticed in the original protagonist's memories. Perhaps it was because the original protagonist had been completely focused on Jang Xue. This girl was very introverted, with thick, straight bangs that completely covered her forehead. But based on my years of experience from my past life, I could tell she was a budding beauty. She wore very loose clothes, which hid her excellent figure. This was the kind of girl who would definitely be a great beauty if she knew how to dress up. Even with the memories of 2 lifetimes, I was still attracted to her, so I couldn't miss this chance. Besides, her grades were excellent, so I could ask her to tutor me. Ding-ling. Ding-ling. The exhausting math class finally ended. I immediately took a math problem I didn't quite understand and walked straight over to Lu Zi. Classmate Lu, can you teach me this problem? The teacher explained it, but I still don't quite get it. Is that okay? I asked sincerely. She was very surprised to see me. In the past, I was either orbiting Jang Xue or on my way to orbit Jang Xue. I usually ignore my other classmates, so why was I suddenly approaching her today? However, seeing my sincerity, Lu Zi felt too embarrassed to refuse and said shyly, "Well, I guess so." I happily sat down next to Lu Zi and watched attentively as she explained the problem. Lu Zi's explanation was extremely detailed, even better than the teacher's. Seeing me happily gathered around Lu Zi, Jang Xue became very angry. I used to always be around her like this. Although she didn't like me before, she enjoyed the feeling of being pursued. Now, seeing her former follower revolving around someone else naturally felt unpleasant. Jang Xue was now very scared. She was afraid of truly losing me. She had always thought I was just angry and that after a while, I would go back to orbiting her once I cooled down. After all, I had liked her so much before. Jang Xue couldn't hold back any longer. She felt she had to do something now. She walked up to me and said righteously to Lu Zi, "You're not allowed to explain the problem to him. I know this one too. I'll teach him." But unexpectedly, Lu Zi suddenly stood up to Jang Xue and said, "Classmate Zhang Yi came to ask me for help. Not you. Why can't I explain it to him? Also, you're not welcome here. Please leave." I hadn't expected the gentle Lu Zi to have such a domineering side, which made me admire her even more. Jang Xue was so surprised that Lu Zi would openly confront her that she didn't know how to react for a moment. I said impatiently, "What does it have to do with you that I'm asking classmate Lu about a problem? Go away. Don't disturb our studies." Seeing how resolute I was, Jang Xue had no face to stay any longer and left in a huff. "I never knew you had such a cool side to you." "That was awesome," I said, looking at Lu Zi with praise. "I just don't want anyone to interrupt me while I'm teaching," Lu Zi said nonchalantly. "By the way, why aren't you fawning over Jang Xue anymore? Aren't you afraid of hurting her feelings?" Lu Zi looked at me and teased. So everyone could see I was just a simp for Jang Xue. So pathetic. "Ah, don't say any more, it's too embarrassing. I've seen the light. You should have seen it long ago. The whole world saw it. You're the only one kept in the dark," Lu Zi said seriously. "Stop it, Teacher Lu. I know I was wrong," I said with a grin. Lu Zi had a special magic when she explained problems. It felt like all the problems were very simple, and it was especially easy to concentrate. The learning efficiency was incredibly high. A single day was much better than me studying on my own. After a few days of enthusiastic discussion about problems between me and Lu Zi, Jang Xue finally couldn't take it anymore. Jang Xue approached me again. "Zhang Yi, I've realized that I kind of like you now. I can't live without you. I agree to be with you. Can we go back to how things were before?" Jang Xue said to me with a pleading look on her face. "Jang Xue, we're over. Think about how you treated me back then. It's impossible to go back. I don't like you anymore. Oh, right? You don't have to return the things I gave you. Just give me back 50,000. From now on, don't come looking for me for anything other than paying back the money," I said, looking at her coldly. After I finished speaking, I turned and left without a second glance at Jang Xue. Behind me, Jang Xue staggered backward and was suddenly caught in the arms of a big hand. This person was Sun Qian. Seeing Sun Qian, Jang Xue suddenly felt a sense of relief, but then she thought of me and struggled forcefully out of his embrace. Seeing Jang Xue's reaction, Sun Qian also stared fiercely in the direction I had left. Without Jang Xue, Sun Qian was nothing because the money Jang Xue spent on him was all given to her by me. Now that I wasn't simping for Jang Xue anymore and not giving her money, Sun Qian naturally had no money to use either. Whenever Sun Qian ran out of money, he would ask Jang Xue for it. Jang Xue's money naturally couldn't keep up with Sun Qian's spending, and soon she ran out of money too. Once Jang Xue had no money to satisfy Sun Qian's desires, his true nature was exposed, and his previous humility and gentleness disappeared. The more Sun Qian acted this way, the more Jang Xue remembered how good I had been. She now deeply regretted not choosing to be with me back then. She discovered that after leaving me, she was nothing, and her life was a mess. She secretly vowed to win me back. For many days that followed, I was immersed in tutoring sessions with Lu Zi. My relationship with Lu Zi grew closer and closer, and we became good friends who could talk about anything. I also discovered that Lu Zi wasn't actually an introverted person. She just couldn't be bothered to talk to others. My grades improved by leaps and bounds, soaring from the bottom of the class to the top 10 in the grade. Meanwhile, Jang Xue's grades plummeted, dropping from the top 10 to below 50th. The teacher even had a talk with her, but it was no use. Her grades continued to fall. Suddenly one day, on her way home, Lu Zi was aggressively surrounded by Jang Xue and a group of people. Lu Zi, you've got some skills completely captivating my Zhang Yi. I'll give you a choice now. Break off all contact with Zhang Yi, or don't blame me for what happens next, Jang Xue commanded in a threatening tone. Naturally, Lu Zi was not afraid and said righteously, Zhang Yi has the right to make his own choices. You didn't cherish him when he chose you, and now that he doesn't like you anymore, you shamelessly pester him. Aren't you pathetic? Let me tell you this. It's impossible for me to leave Zhang Yi. Sooner or later, he will be mine, Lu Zi said domineeringly. The more Jang Xue listened to Lu Zi, the angrier she became. Exasperated, she said, since you refuse the easy way, you'll have to take the hard way. Don't blame me for being unkind. As she finished speaking, the boys and girls behind her were about to step forward when a loud shout stopped them. Stop! I rushed in front of Lu Zi. What do you think you're doing? Ganging up on a girl? I've already called the police. When they get here, you'll all be in trouble. Hearing this, Jang Xue's group immediately panicked. When Jang Xue saw me, she even tried to explain. You don't need to explain anything to me. I don't want to hear it, I said sternly. Jang Xue and her group had no choice but to flee in disgrace. How was that? I came just in time, right? I smiled at Lu Zi. How come you're here? Shouldn't you have gone home? Lu Zi asked curiously. Did you forget? It's Saturday. I came looking for you to hang out, to thank you for teaching me so diligently all this time. Oh, right, I think I just heard someone say I was hers. Who was that? I said deliberately. What hers? You must have misheard, Lu Zi said shyly. All right, I won't tease you anymore. For the time being, I'll walk you home from school, just in case these people come looking for trouble again, I said seriously. In reality, this was just a way for me to spend more time with Lu Zi. Didn't you call the police? How come they're not here yet? Lu Zi asked curiously. I was just bluffing to scare them. You saw the look on their faces. 3 months passed in a flash. Under Lu Zi's careful guidance, and with my experience from a past life, I had already surpassed her to claim the top spot in our grade. The teachers were full of praise for my efforts, calling me the strongest dark horse they had ever seen. The college entrance exams came quickly. I was confident in my performance, and, as we had wished, both Lu Zi and I were accepted into either Tsinghua or Peking University. Jang Xue, however, did not do so well. She didn't even make it into a top-tier university, barely getting into an ordinary second-tier one. In college, Lu Zi and I continued to excel. We participated in various top-level competitions and won countless awards. Then, We went on to graduate school and doctoral studies together, becoming the most envied couple. After entering the workforce, Lu Zi and I started a business together. With our outstanding talent and abilities, our company flourished under our efforts, eventually going public with a soaring market value. Later, we got married. The wedding was grand, attended by many friends and relatives, including more than half of our high school classmates. From them, I learned that Jang Xue and Shun Xian had broken up after high school. After finishing college, Jang Xue quickly entered the workforce, got married, had children, and became a housewife. It seemed her life wasn't going very well. Hearing Jang Xue's name again, I was momentarily taken aback, as the name had almost faded from my memory. Oh, right, I think she still owed me 50,000 yuan. But that didn't matter anymore, because I had met the person I loved the most and who loved me the most. I was very happy, and my life was complete.